Shanti, everyone. A really, really warm welcome to everyone for today's second masterclass. So today was the second of 5 masterclasses that have been running. And the topic for today's masterclass is understanding purity. And we have a wonderful resource all the way from North America. We've got Mohini Didi, who's joining us to explore this topic. So Didi will share for about 15 minutes on this topic, and I will take up some questions and answers, or questions in particular, to her to explore this topic a bit further. There's something I just wanted to share about Didi before we started the session. I've had the opportunity to meet Didi once when I was in America, a long time ago actually, about 12, 13 years ago, when my cousin had left the body, and I was received with a tremendous amount of love and warmth at a time when that was really difficult for not just me, but my whole family. And I remember around about 15 years ago, there was a gathering in Madhavan where we were having an intimate conversation with Dadi, and someone had the courage to ask a question. Dadi, when all the daddies go, who do you think has the capacity to lead the organization? And she paused for a moment, and she said, Mohini Didi. And since that point, I've always held that.
What did she say?
She said your name.
Oh, really?
She said your name. Yeah. So this is one of these stories that had emerged. So, I just wanted to welcome you, Didi, and thank you for joining us. And a happy belated birthday. I know you had a celebration on Sunday. We hope it went well. You don't look 80. The body doesn't look 80. So, hope you had a good time, and thank you for joining us. So, perhaps now we can take up this topic of understanding purity, and I felt maybe we can take the direction of understanding attitudes, intentions. Baba particularly took up this blessing on the 13th Murli, where he talked about having pure, positive, and unshakable intentions for others. So it'd be great if we can hear your experiences on this. But also, I think Baba's been taking up not seeing the defects in others as well, and I feel this is a really important topic at a time today, so it'd be great to hear your thoughts on that as well. Thank you, Didi.
Om Shanti. Thank you, brother. That was a good story. I have to think about it. But I responded maybe to Dadi Janki's call, and I find that somewhere all the time Dadi Janki is so present in my life, and also, for double foreigners, very important, her presence. She's not with us physically, but I know that she's really, really after us, with us. So, truth is eternal, and same is understanding of purity. But as we grow, that means, our intellects are more pure, our hearts are more pure. So we are kind of ascending in purity. So understanding about purity is also becoming clear and deeper. Recently, what my attention and reflections are, that from where really, what is the main aspect of purity which I need to pay attention. So someone, I invited, said, can you come? And the answer was, I hope something like that didn't happen. What happened 2 years ago won't happen. So now this is awareness, right? Now awareness has, in Hindi we call it Smriti. So Baba wants us awareness of I am soul and be remember Baba. But then what emerges in that track of awareness is so much from the past. And it's okay if there are good things emerge, but if there are certain things which were not right or pleasant or challenging, they keep emerging, then I'm losing that purity of awareness. We were in RC meeting and Dadi Janki one time said, and really stayed with me, because in English they translate Smriti as awareness and also then they call it attitude and memory track. So what is coming in memory track is obstructing that remembrance. I want to be in Baba's remembrance, but all that's what keeps coming in that memory track and kind of pollute, I will say it pollutes that pure energy. So I will at this time pay attention more on seeing how clean I can keep this track. And one of the, my principle or what I tried to adopt in my life was that I really just take what I have to take that becomes recording, because everything gets recorded in the soul, and rest I delete same time. If I've seen something, I knew that what is useful for me, beneficial, I will keep it, rest I just delete. So I have paid attention a lot to not take a lot of recordings. And that helps in a way to, but we are not 100%. So one of my understanding at this time of purity is purity of awareness. And then this purity of awareness then takes us to the purity of attitude. Attitude is so subtle, but so powerful. You told me something good about me. I will always remember that. Right now it has become my attitude. Whenever I will look at and say, this brother told me such nice thing, right? But it's possible that certain people tell us certain things and we form certain impressions for them. That is where one of the biggest lessons which I learned at my early age was never form impressions about others based on what you hear from others, but also for your own self. Pay attention that I always have to look at the beauty and the speciality and what other soul has to offer is also very beautiful. So when there is purity in attitude, that I am not holding anything, but rather what I am holding is that this one is a soul. And I always think that when Baba comes, why we are so awake and our energy is so elevated, because he's looking at our stage of perfection. Baba's drishti towards us is of our stage of perfection. So if my attitude is holding something, then through drishti also, it will somewhere come. Now I'm talking of purity, impurities, at that deeper level. So if I keep my attitude clean, then what else I will have for others is good wishes, right? But that if there is something intellectually, something happened, I have good wishes for that soul. But you haven't cleaned your attitude, you haven't changed your attitude towards that person, so your drishti will not give that power, that love, God's presence, or elevate elevate the self-respect of that person. So, from drishti, then of course, as you said, but internally, if it is so clean and pure, there will be naturally good wishes, and those good wishes will work. They're not just to satisfy myself or saying, oh, I don't think bad about others, I always have good wishes. But that could be intellectual exercise. But if we want the power or sakash to reach the other soul, then good wishes has to come from that purity, pure attitude, and then pure drishti. Because what will happen that when I am paying attention, on understanding of level of purity we need, because when we have to become perfect, complete, it should be first 100% purity is the first quality to become that, right? And for 100% purity, we have to work on these subtle abilities of the self. And once we do it, then what else you will think about others? Always good, right? Always beneficial. So that becomes very natural. But if we do it more, oh, I don't know how long to keep good wishes for that person, that question won't arise. Because I don't have choice. I don't think anything else anyway. A good person doesn't have a choice, right? Because I don't have what should I think of that or not. No, continue. Like someone said, Dadi Janki never got tired of keeping good wishes for everyone. And it's only because her heart was so clean and there was so much truth and of course closeness to Baba that there was nothing else, right? So I think we have to reach to a point where I don't have to make efforts, right, for sharing good wishes for anyone. Actually, those who are not the candidates, they need more, in the sense of if someone has kind of a, habit of being sensitive, losing mood, changing moods. So they need lot of good wishes. They need more sakash. So it's not that they need less. Oh, I can't give sakash. They need more, right? But also, I also don't necessarily believe in word giving. I feel that sun doesn't give, right? It shines. So be that, And if you are that, you don't have to say, oh, let me have good wishes. Your heart is, your mind, intellect, your soul is just having good wishes. So actually, purity should create a stage where you are always well-wisher, you always think elevated, you always have pure feelings. And as much from purity we become that, being that, and you keep shining, right? In the sense of, so giving also brings okay, I give or not give, right? But when you are being, then you are giving naturally in a way. So understanding of purity here is to become that, If I am a pure being, I am a pure soul. But now it's not only soul, but in practical also. Our thoughts, words, actions. And then, as I said, awareness, attitude, and drishti. Whatever percentage of purity, that much percentage of good wishes and sakash is shared in a very, very natural way. So I want people to remove this word of giving, because then I give or I don't give, right? But be what you have to give, no? Be that, and that comes from purity. I had been talking in the evening in a Vyakti Parivar a lot on virtues emerging from purity, not just virtues like tolerance emerging from purity. I never believed in tolerance. I realized I have a lot of tolerance because of the purity, because I sometimes felt that tolerance can be mixed with subservient. And I never believed since childhood that anyone can dominate me, or I don't believe in. I feel it's my weakness to be subservient, but it get mixed with the tolerance. Some people keep tolerating because they are fear or because they are weak. But our tolerance after purity, when I came in knowledge, people are so against Brahma Kumaris, and I, as a young person, every wall in Old Delhi, save yourself from trap of Brahma Kumaris in every wall. And here I am coming with my one or two friends, and we were brave. It didn't bother us. Whatever deformation was there about Brahma Kumaris didn't affect. And I said, no, that's my life. So we tolerated, what people said and deformation, but it didn't. I don't even remember. Every evening at our home, there used to be like a court. You're not going, you're not going, you're not, and everyone says what they want to. But I don't remember. I always feel they were doing it out of love, and they didn't have bad feelings. They felt their responsibility. So I didn't, but I think of how could I tolerate, but there was no anything like tolerance, because there is purity, they're what they're doing from heart. So virtues emerging from purity. So same is, I think, good wishes and pure feelings are from the purity. And it's a very, very appropriate topic of understanding of purity. So I feel within the family, if we all pay little bit attention and improve our quality of purity, I think it will be so good in the sense of not only feeling amongst ourselves, because sometimes small matters and little differences can, change our mind, but it shouldn't, because there is purity, there is love, and you should such generosity and big heart where you take everyone who have differences and make them belong to just we are one family. And I enjoy differences very much because I see that as a resource. If we are 8 of us and we have to say same thing, then what's the point, right? And if all 8 have to say something else, I see as a resource that you have 8 topics here. And some people feel, oh, they don't agree with me, but they don't need to agree with me. They need to say what they say. And we agree to everyone in the sense of make a pool of ideas and work from there. So I jokingly, after class, there was a time I will sit with all sisters and what could be the menu for today. So 8 of them gave different idea. I said, okay, we have menu for 8 days. Let's see what first, second, third. But another sister will say, I'm not going to ask anyone because everyone says different thing. But they don't enjoy differences. And for me, it's a joy because everyone is free, let them express, and then how we see to unite and to do it together. Very, very joyful. So I think being internally like this will help our family, especially I always look at more at Brahmin family, VK family, and I feel as much our percentage of purity will increase, it will impact the whole world. Our quality of service, our everything will be very, very elevated. And so I definitely underline it and say that understand purity and also increase the quality into deeper self and become that. And then from there, many, many good things can happen, right?
That was really interesting, actually, very topical for me personally. So, but I wanted to ask you a question, if you don't mind, just relating to this. On the one hand, I recognize that we have to use our intellects to discern and discern the intentions and attitudes of others, even within the family, especially maybe even in service. And I remember Dadi once saying that if someone's feelings are not good, that's their problem and their karma, but the task will not be unsuccessful. She said that, and that really surprised me once because, in my mind, it was always a case of if the seed is impure or rotten, then the fruit will also be impure and rotten. And so hearing that made me recognize that actually Baba's responsible in some way. But where do we stand when it comes to it checking the intentions of others in the family? Do we need to do that, or do we just need to put it aside, not worry about their intentions, and simply just allow them to be as they are, even if they have deceitful intentions, impure intentions, and just hold a space of good wishes in a task or in a team? How does that work?
Yeah, I think that, see, good wishes are also what? Let's say one of the good wishes is to trust, right? So I want to trust. I don't want, and if I had noticed intentions of others, it will make me weak because I will hold those and I will not be able to move forward. So I trust. But also, if let's say somebody wants to hurt or that kind of intention, Baba will make me aware. And through that trust and the power of trust, I will overcome whatever difficulties could come from intentions of others. And that's what, if I notice that, like I am the person who always wanted to be behind, back. I'm not a front person, but my role always had been like in front because all Dadis, Mohini, like my name was in there. But that's my role. I said, okay, I will play my role, but deeply within, I'm very like to be incognito. And so there are certain people who will have different kind of, feelings. Why you? Why she? I gave them lot of respect. I gave them because they need it. That's why they have that desire. So let's say I am asked to do something and I'm seeing one or two souls, why she gets chance. So next time, why don't you do? Why don't you do? You will be surprised that same souls will always say, no, you do it. No, why don't you do? Because I know that they have subtle desire. They need it, they want it, it could help them. So I offer the opportunity and say, you do it, because I am okay. I mean, I don't have to be blossomed when, no, I am all right. I am always very content. And the same souls, the change in them. And now the same souls, the beautiful expressions they share about me, I feel happy because I knew I did Mansha Seva in the sense of not only Mansha Seva, but I offered them because I always feel there are certain souls they need. You have to respect them more, acknowledge them, appreciate them. So we do it, why not, So sometimes knowing what their subtle desires or intentions are, we use a positive way to fulfill it so that it doesn't remain their weakness also for a long time. So this way we could help them to be strong, to have more self-respect, so we can go even, as I said, one step further, knowingly but fulfilling what they need. Give them that, what they need, because I have and I will get more. So this will bring, so I feel happy when they change, The transformation which comes in them, I feel very happy about it. And I keep using that. more and more.
That's really interesting and encouraging, actually, because it means that in the family, we don't have to check people's intentions. We don't have to see them. We just have to have the good wishes and use it as an opportunity to give them something. That's what I'm hearing from you. Because sometimes we can spend a lot of time being deceived by our intentions. That's the door that Maya comes through, and then we use that waste to just deplete us, and we get stuck in what we think is right. But actually, what we think is right is completely Maya. So I really appreciate what you've shared. Just ignore intentions of others and just give good wishes. I had another question for you. I was reading a passage from 1977. It was in the Good Wishes and Pure Feelings book, and I really appreciate that book. And in this particular passage, Baba was talking about the eruption of sanskars and weaknesses at a time when we're getting closer to completion. And he specifically said, everything needs to go into the extreme. Only in the extreme is there the end. Could you perhaps share something about how we can see something is about to leave us? Because I'm conscious that, a lot of us may have been experiencing internal eruptions of old, deeply rooted sanskars that have just been lingering, that we've been struggling with. And now they may just seem to be erupting in such a way that they could be leaving us. But what is the extra kind of special effort that we need to make to really finish the scene of this sanskar?
One thing I find that one is to see what are old sanskars and their impact on us. But if we can pay more attention in cultivating new sanskars, because as much I am cultivating new sanskars, then I am replacing the old one too. Because what I find, a lot of Brahmins are very much into, old sanskars and changing them. He said, you don't have to change them, create the new ones, right? And that is possible only when, let's say, if someone has temperament, like suddenly gets loud. And I've used a lot of patience, a lot of love with that soul to help that soul to come out. And in our lives, we always have people with different sanskar, but you feel mercy from your heart. For little thing, we are all happy, joyful, and this soul just gets sulking and not enjoying, not happy. So you feel mercy, right? And when you feel mercy that this soul has, so what you do, lot of love, lot of patience, and not make that soul aware that I notice it. One of the way to help others is that they don't know that I know. In the sense, I as if I don't know, but what should be my normal way, good words I use. See, it's not only good wishes, here you have to use also good words to kind of, so when the change then come in that, so sanskars of others or sanskar of my own self can only change by elevated actions, in the sense of use those virtues, cultivate them, use in actions, use in relationship. And then those new sanskars become your personality. Even once in a while you see a trace coming, but because you are attentive, you immediately change that. So I believe that we can enjoy our Brahmin life more in creating new sanskars instead of always changing from old to new. They will automatically get replaced, right? I'm not thinking I'm changing. Let's say I don't have anger, but getting irritated is so common. Now, irritation is lack of patience. So I'm paying more attention to have more patience. So irritation is going. So there is a way, as we say, ignite the light, darkness will dispel. So this is the way also, that keep using virtues into your thoughts, words, actions, more in actions also. So they become sanskars. And so automatically sanskars are changing in a natural way. And that's all, I believe in this Brahmin life to be very light, to be joyful, and I take effort seriously but lightly, in the sense I always find a way which I can be happy and light and entertain instead of heavy way. And so I just say, okay, leave it here. I will replace it by having virtue, and then you are enjoying, because that quality is not only helping you, but others around, they also could benefit from that. So I say old sanskar, it's all right. They will be replaced by the new ones. Pay attention to cultivate new ones by using the virtues, Baba's love.
I think that's very practical, because I feel at this time we can get stuck with something that's repeatedly defeating us. And actually that just, complete our happiness.
No way we can be stuck. I think you have to believe yourself. No way I will get stuck. That's what I believe. I have to move forward, and every step I take is for further to move forward, not getting stuck. So it's all this is really in the mind and awareness and attitude, So if we pay attention that inner aspects of purity, then I don't know why. Sometimes I wonder, maybe I don't have experience. I never believe in stucking, in the sense of, for anything, I always find there is a way. Always, whether it is a physical, we came to Peace Village, so there was a big piano, very big one. And it's about 25 years now, we are here, or 20. So they said it's not going to come out. And I said, but it went in, so it must come out. So I said, I believe it will come out. Let's do it this way. And within 10 minutes, I was with them, helping to get the direction out of the door. I said, but if it came in, it must go out. How did it come in? So I always feel that we have to change somewhere deeply, that this life will have challenges, but they are good. They are good opportunities to expose or to emerge our capacities, which we all have. But we sit back, very quickly. And I am not a person I ever get sit back. I always say, yes, there is a way, we will find it. But that way first I have to find for my own self, right? If I am internally finding way for me, then I will find for all of us. And we say, let's do, we can do it. So that is very important, belonging to Baba, who has bestowed fortune and blessings. No one can ever or should get stuck. Right?
Of course.
That's what my good wishes for everyone.
Oh, really lovely to hear. I feel your journey has been an incredible one, because you've really held Baba's hand right from an early age, and you've really just been immersed with Baba continuously. You've never let his hand go. But maybe for many, when you come on this path, you can create a culture or a habit of making mistakes along the way, and that perhaps creates defeat and disheartenment. And I know that in Brahma Baba's days, there was a real intention to hold court, use the word court earlier, so that you could really pick up on some of these mistakes and pay that attention to yourself. And even if souls were feeling like they needed to express themselves, they could go and speak to Brahma Baba. And then the Dadis obviously were there for us, so they were the right hands of mercy for Baba in those instances. And now, you're there for all of us as well, in playing that sort of role. How much are you used in the way to help souls progress when they're feeling like they need to be lifted? Is that something that you encourage? Because I can imagine as the yonder expands, the opportunity to come and kind of open the heart and to express where you're at, so that you can really move forward in your own efforts. It's really valuable to have that. But I don't know how much you are used to that extent, and whether souls can actually take benefit from that.
Yeah, I think that everything has to be with the faith in God in the sense of Baba, you know. And Baba wants to listen to me, right? I can talk to Baba, get blessings from Baba. So then you are, of course, with others also do it, but there is not something I feel I am not heard or my idea is not accepted. Or, one time I was very young Brahmin when Didi Mohini said, somebody asked, how do I know this is my Manmat or this is Shrimat? A lot of good thoughts come in the mind, but is it Shrimat or not? She said Shrimat means Baba has given direction. So let's say if that idea didn't implement or didn't work or accepted, and you keep saying feel bad or sad or kind of disheartened and all that, that's manmat. Because it was your thought, so you are so attached to that. And if it is from Baba, you will know that even after 20 years, the thought will be accepted. And I always remember that. And I always kind of like that, I offered to Baba, I thought, or if it has come in my mind, I trust it 100%. And honestly, there are a lot of things like Brahma Baba told me, I did after 20 years, maybe after 30 years. He never lost hope in me. But I also knew that one day I will be able to do. There are a lot of things Dadi Janki put me into lot, which I never knew. She said, you can do it. I said, okay, I will do it. Every time she will say, you can do it. Okay, I will do it. So this is a habit, this getting disheartened, there's no reason. Right? Everyone, open your heart to Baba. Receive from Baba. Keep increasing capacity to receive from Baba. See, all the souls can help you, but eternal help rarely will come from Baba. I was telling someone things, we can plan for you, do something, but if it's not in your fortune, so fortune maker is one. I go to Baba. It's the Baba who has to, give the fortune. I can actually get so much that you can start sharing. So I tell all my family, please never get disheartened, because souls can only give you, but very limited. There were so many so near to Dadi, would not have taken as much as we lived far, but still, because of that love and faith, every word, I looked at everything as another step. Whatever she's saying, even she pointed finger. So that's okay, there is another step now. So open your heart to comfort a rough heart. And you will see how magical things can start, and we become instrument for so many things. I can share with you now, you all heard that we completed 500 days of Avyakti Parivar. 500 days every evening. Some days I ask them before, what's the topic now? Because there are so many other things. But I just trust it's Baba, it's drama and needs of family, whatever it is. So I think faith in Baba for each one, and open your heart. And then I was mentioning that now in a Vyakti Parivar, all young people, all 13, 19, 20, and now this sustenance program is by youth, also from Asia and other Australia. So I think that no one's ever any thought can go waste, but have connection with Baba. so that your omens of Jupiter, that I have to do definitely, right? That Baba cannot do. So think positive, think elevated, not only positive. Positive is for Lokik people, elevated. Every thought should be pure and elevated, and you are under canopy of Baba, and then see how every seed, the thought as a seed, will get really blossom, very blossom. So I'm kind of going longer because I want that
No,
to be over. I
yeah,
want
Didi,
to, no one should be disheartened, right? Promise.
absolutely. Thank you so much. And actually, we've just hit time as well. So I'm really pleased you've covered so much in. I had so many more questions, but I feel you've given us comprehensive answers and rich insights. Yes, I really appreciate you sharing on a personal level as well. And I just want to leave everyone with the one statement that you've made, which is be what you have to give. And I really like that. So I think that's one for me to take. So look, I just wanted to perhaps invite you just to share a moment of silence with all of us. And then
Can I just, share my good wishes, of course, with everyone, but not only good wishes. There is lot of, different kind of wishes in good wishes, right? So that powerful, loveful, be virtuous and reach to your stage of perfection. So my good wishes for everyone that we are traveling together. And Brahma Baba always used to say, I will take you with me. So just be ready, and young one, old one, any spiritual age, but we all are together. We're traveling together, and so we are co-travelers. So keep going, and we will reach the destination together. Right? So these are my feelings, lot of love. But also in the end, I will say, because this whole year I have offered Bhog to Baba hundreds of times. And so every time I see Baba giving lots of drishti of love and power, and very pleased with us, all of us, because we're all making efforts. So my love, I share Baba's love to each one of you, wherever you are. And thank you for listening to me. Om Shanti.